Have you ever felt that nagging need to be liked? That little voice in your head that whispers, just agree with them. Don't rock the boat. Make them happy. We all have. It's a deeply human instinct. But what if I told you that this very instinct, this constant chase for approval, is the very thing holding you back from true power and influence? What if the key to unlocking your potential isn't to be liked, but to be respected? And what if the master of this dark art lived over 500 years ago? Niccolo Machiavelli. The name itself conjures images of shadowy figures and political intrigue. His most famous work, The Prince, has been a controversial guide for leaders for centuries, and at its heart lies a chillingly simple question: is it better to be loved than feared? Machiavelli's answer is a direct challenge to everything we've been taught about social harmony. He argues that while it would be ideal to be both, the two rarely go hand in hand. And if you must choose, you should choose fear. Now, before you start plotting to become a tyrant, let's be clear. Machiavelli isn't advocating for cruelty. The fear he speaks of is not the terror of a brutal dictator. It's respect. It's the understanding that you are a person of substance, someone whose opinions matter and whose actions have consequences. Think about the people you truly respect in your life. Are they the ones who always agree with you? The ones who tell you what you want to hear? Or are they the ones who challenge you, who push you to be better, even if it's uncomfortable? This is where we get into the psychology of it all. There's a concept called the Ben Franklin effect. The story goes that Franklin had a rival in the Pennsylvania legislature who he wanted to win over. Instead of doing him a favor, Franklin asked his rival for a favor: to borrow a rare book. The rival, surprisingly, agreed, and from that point on, their relationship improved dramatically. The psychological principle at play is that we justify our actions to ourselves. The rival thought, if I did him a favor, I must like him. By commanding a small act of respect, Franklin inadvertently created a sense of liking. This turns our conventional wisdom on its head, doesn't it? We think that by being overly agreeable, by being a people pleaser, we'll earn affection. But often, the opposite happens. We become invisible. Our opinions are disregarded because we've shown they're flexible. We're taken for granted because we're always available. In the quest to be liked, we lose ourselves. Consider the workplace. You have a colleague who is incredibly popular. Everyone loves them. They're the first to organize social events, the first to say yes to any request. But when it comes to a major project, when tough decisions need to be made, is this the person who gets the final say? Often, it's not. The person who commands respect is the one who isn't afraid to disagree, to voice an unpopular opinion, to say no when necessary. They might not be the most liked person in the room, but their voice carries weight. Their judgment is trusted. This is the power Machiavelli was talking about. It's not about being a jerk. It's not about alienating people for the sake of it. It's about having a strong sense of your own value. It's about understanding that true connection isn't built on a foundation of constant agreement, but on mutual respect. Think about your own relationships. The most meaningful ones are likely with people who you respect and who respect you in return, even when you don't see eye to eye. So, how do we cultivate this kind of respect? It starts with setting boundaries. It starts with saying no to things that don't align with your goals or values. It starts with speaking your mind, even when your voice shakes. It's about showing the world that you take yourself seriously, and in doing so, you teach them to take you seriously too. This isn't an easy path. The desire to be liked is a powerful and seductive force. It promises safety and acceptance. But the path of respect, while more challenging, leads to a different kind of reward. It leads to genuine influence, to meaningful relationships, and to a deep and abiding sense of self-worth. It's the difference between being a fleeting pleasure and a lasting presence. Machiavelli's ideas are often seen as cynical, as a dark reflection of human nature. But perhaps they are simply a pragmatic acknowledgement of how the world works. In a world that often values superficiality, the courage to be respected rather than liked is a revolutionary act. It's a declaration that you are not here to please everyone. You are here to be you. And so I leave you with this question. In your own life, in your own pursuits of power and connection, which path will you choose? The easy road of being liked, or the more arduous but ultimately more rewarding path of being respected? The answer might just change everything. This fear of being disliked, it's rooted in our evolutionary past, isn't it? As tribal creatures, being cast out from the group meant certain death. So we developed this intense need for social approval. It's a survival mechanism. But the world has changed. Our modern tribe is global, it's digital, it's sprawling. The threat of being exiled is no longer a death sentence, yet we still operate on that ancient software. We still flinch at the thought of disapproval. This internal conflict is the source of so much of our anxiety. We are torn between our authentic self and the version of ourselves we think others want to see. The version that gets the most likes, the most invitations, the most superficial praise. But this curated self is a fragile thing. Its self-esteem is outsourced. It depends entirely on the validation of others. When that validation disappears, and it always does, the entire structure collapses. The person who seeks respect, on the other hand, is building their foundation on something much more solid. Their own principles, their own integrity. Their validation comes from within. It comes from acting in accordance with their beliefs, even when it's unpopular. This is the essence of what philosophers call virtue ethics. It's not about the consequences of your actions or the rules you follow. It's about the kind of person you are choosing to be in each moment. Are you choosing to be a person of conviction or a person of convenience? Think about the artists, the innovators, the visionaries who have truly changed the world. Were they universally liked in their time? Almost never. They were often ridiculed, misunderstood, and ostracized. They challenged the status quo. They forced people to see the world in a new way. And that is a deeply uncomfortable experience for most. But they commanded respect because of their unwavering commitment to their vision. Their power came not from pleasing the crowd, but from challenging it. This doesn't mean you have to be a solitary genius fighting against the world. It's about choosing your circle wisely. It's about surrounding yourself with people who respect you enough to tell you the truth, not just what you want to hear. This is the difference between a network and a community. A network is built on utility and pleasantries. A community is built on trust and authentic connection. And trust cannot exist without respect. The journey from being liked to being respected is a journey from the outside in to the inside out. It's a shift in your center of gravity. Instead of constantly adjusting your position to appease the forces around you, you become a force in your own right. You have a core that is unshakable. And paradoxically, this is what makes you truly attractive to others. People are drawn to those with a strong sense of self. They may not always agree with you. They may not always like you in the conventional sense, but they will know where you stand. And in a world of shifting sands, that is a rare and valuable thing. So the next time you feel that pull to just agree, to smooth things over, to make yourself smaller to fit into a space that doesn't value you, pause for a moment. Ask yourself what you are sacrificing for that fleeting moment of approval. Is it your integrity, your voice, your power? The dark power that Machiavelli wrote about isn't about manipulation or control over others. It's the ultimate form of self-control. It's the power to define your own worth, independent of the applause or the criticism of the crowd. And that is a power that no one can ever take away from you. What part of your life right now could be transformed by choosing respect over being liked?